everyone, all the officers, teachers, and all the students. I am Mrs. Sonia Sumase from Mitagal Public School. We are studying Science 1, lesson number 6, that is refraction of light. So, today we are going to study the topic dispersion of light, total internal reflection, and rainbow formation. So, before starting these topics, let us have a quick revision of all the things that we have studied in the previous lecture. So we have studied about reflection and refraction. So basically what is the refraction? When light travels from one transparent medium to another transparent medium, light changes its direction. Then after that, we have studied laws of reflection and laws of refraction. Then important part we have studied, that is the refractive index and absolute refractive index. Okay. Then after that, we have studied the twinkling of stars, various atmospheric phenomena. Okay. Based on this part, many such questions are asked in the exam. That also we have studied twinkling of star, why planets do not twinkle, formation of the mirage. Then after that, we have seen the delayed sunrise, sunset. Okay. Now after that, we are going to study the topic, that is the dispersion of light. Okay. Now students, you might have conducted this activity. It is a very simple activity. What you have to do? You have to take one plastic scale. Okay. You hold that plastic scale in front of your eyes and you have to see through it while turning it slowly. Okay. While doing this, what you will observe, that you will see that white light, it gets divided into the different colors. Okay. So these colors appear in the following order, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Okay. So how do we get these different colors? Okay. Up till now, we have studied many things about the light, isn't it? But actually, what is the light? So let us first see what is light. So light, it is an electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So light, it is a form of electromagnetic radiation which produces sensation of vision in our eyes. Okay, keep in mind, what is light? Light is a form of electromagnetic radiation which produces sensation of vision in our eyes. Okay, so that electromagnetic radiation, it consists of a crest and trough. Okay, so these things in depth you are going to study in the higher classes. Now, wavelength, it is an important property of radiation. So here you will see actually the distance between the two crests or two troughs, it is the wavelength. Okay, so it is a very important property of radiation. So all these things also you are going to study in the higher classes. Now, the wavelength of radiation to which our eyes are sensitive is between 400 and 700 nanometer. Okay, so here you can see it is given 400 to 700. Okay, between this wavelength, we are able to observe the different colors. Okay, the color which falls in that particular wavelength. So we are going to observe that color. Okay, so our eyes are sensitive to the wavelength of radiation between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. You have to keep this in mind. And 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Now, the velocity of light rays of all frequencies in vacuum is same. Okay, because in vacuum there is no medium. So therefore, the velocity of light of all frequencies will be same. So here you can see even for the different colors, the velocity of light in vacuum is same, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Then the velocity of light in a medium depends upon the frequency of light. Okay, for a particular medium, the velocity of light will depend upon the frequency of that medium. Now, the different colors travel with the different velocity. This thing we have already studied, that different colors travel with the different velocity. Even though the medium is same, we have seen that the refractive indices value for different colors is different. Okay, so here in this table, you can observe that here the three different colors are given, that is the red, green and violet. And here, if we consider the medium as crown glass, so here you can see the velocity in crown glass for red color is 2 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. For green, it is 1.98 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. For violet color, it is 1.97 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And even the refractive index value for the three colors is different. For red, it is 1.50, for green, it is 1.51, for violet, it is 1.52. Got it? So the different colors have different velocity and different refractive index, even though they are in the same medium. So you have to remember this thing. Now, let us study about the dispersion. Now, see here, when a white light enters a single medium as prism, if we take a prism, okay, so we can even perform this activity in school. Okay, what you require a source of light, then you require a prism, okay, and a screen. Now, when the white light enters a single medium as prism, the angles of refraction are different for different colors. Got it? The angle of refraction, it is different for different colors. Okay. Now let us first see what is a prism. Actually, a prism is a transparent medium. Okay. Prism is a transparent medium bound by plane surfaces, of which at least the two flat surfaces are inclined at an angle. Okay, so you should also know what is a prism. So once again I will repeat, a prism, it is a transparent medium bound by plane surfaces, of which at least the two flat surfaces are inclined at an angle. So when a light ray enters a prism, you will see that rays get refracted, and they are refracted at the different angles, and we get these different colors. Okay, so that is called as the spectrum. So when the white light coming from the sun through the air enters any refracting medium, it emerges as a spectrum of 7 colors. So here also you can see that the white light which is coming from the sun through the air, and it is passed through any of the refracting medium, and the screen is placed in front of that medium, you will see that the spectrum of 7 colors. Students, even you have performed some activities related to this in your previous classes, if you remember. Okay. So this band of 7 colors, it is called as the spectrum. and just see the sequence of the colors. It is the violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Okay, so you can, for remembering, you can take the initial of all these colors, V, I, B, G, Y, O, R, VIBGYOR. Okay, to remember the sequence of these colors. Now, from among the 7 colors, the red color bends the least and violet color bends the most. Okay. Now the process of separation of light into its component colors while passing through a medium is called as the dispersion of light. Okay. So up till now, we have seen that when a beam of light passes through a medium such as the prism, so we see that we get the 7 colors. Okay, the spectrum of 7 colors. So here you can see that white light, it gets separated into the 7 colors. Okay, so up till now we might only know that yes, this color it consists of only the white light. Okay, but actually that white light, it is consists of the 7 colors. Okay, and through such experiments we can obtain these colors. So this process is called as the dispersion of light. So the meaning of dispersion, that is the separation. Okay. So therefore, how you can define the dispersion of light? The process of separation of light into its component colors while passing through a medium is called the dispersion of light. Okay. Now we have seen this, that among the 7 colors, the red color bends the least while the violet color bends the most. Okay, so the wavelength of the violet color falls between the range, that is the 400 nanometer, and red color is 700 nanometer. Now here also the experiment is conducted. We have the source of light, then we have taken the prism, and the screen is placed in front of the prism. Okay, so when the white light enters the prism, you will see that the spectrum of 7 colors is obtained on the screen. Then what will happen if we place the 2 prism? Okay, so here when the white light passes through prism 1, okay, we get the spectrum of the 7 colors, and in front of the prism 1 we have placed the prism 2. Okay, just see how the prism 1 and prism 2 are placed. Okay, so that spectrum which is obtained from prism 1, okay, when it falls on the prism 2, now you will see that on the screen you will get a beam of white light. Okay, when we place the 2 prisms. Okay, remember this. Now, you might have seen the chandeliers that are having the glass prisms. Okay, so on the walls, you can see the on the wall you can see that the spectrum is being obtained. So why does this happen? So let us see that actually these chandeliers are having the glass prisms. Okay, the light from a tungsten bulb, it is getting dispersed while passing through this prism, and we see the colored spectrum. Okay, so up till now whatever we have seen, that the white light gets dispersed when passed through the prism and we get the spectrum of colors. So similarly, here in this chandeliers, it consists of the glass prisms, and when the light from the tungsten bulb get dispersed while passing through this prism, we are obtaining the colored spectrum. You can see that color spectrum on the wall. Okay, and what will happen if we use the LED light instead of the tungsten bulb? Okay, here you will see that the light from a tungsten bulb gets dispersed while passing through the prism of chandelier, and color get spectrum is seen. Okay, but what will happen if we use the LED light instead of the tungsten bulb? Will we be able to see the same effect? No, we will not be able to see the same effect, because the LED light consists of the light of only single wavelength. Okay, so therefore, now what is dispersion of light? The process of separation of light into its component colors while passing through a medium is called the dispersion of light. So this diagram is very important. So Sir Isaac Newton was the first person to use the glass prism. Okay, remember this. Sir Isaac Newton was the first person to use a glass prism to obtain the sun's spectrum. So when white light is incident on the prism, different colors bend through different angles. So you can see in this diagram, okay, the different colors, they bend through the different angles. So among the 7 colors, the red bends the least, okay, and the violet bends the most. And these 7 colors emerge along the different paths and get separated, and we get a spectrum of 7 colors. Okay, so why it is seen that all the colors, they bend at the different angles? Okay, because all these different colors, they are having the different wavelength, they are having the different velocity, so they will bend at the different angles, and therefore we are able to obtain the spectrum of 7 colors. Now, regarding the dispersion of light, such type of question can be asked in the exam. Suppose the diagram will be given to you, and you have to observe that diagram, and you have to answer the given questions. Now let us see what type of questions are asked. So it is very simple. See, define dispersion of light. Okay. So what is dispersion of light? Remember one thing, dispersion means separation. Okay. White light is getting separated into its component colors. Got it? So what is dispersion of light? The separation of light into its component colors is called dispersion. Okay. Then write the different colors in the light spectrum in the correct order. So you can remember this thing, that is the Vibgoi, so that you can easily remember the sequence. So different colors in light spectrum are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So simply you remember this Vibgoi, okay, and you will remember all the colors, and in sequence you will remember that. Got it? Then third question is asked that what is the prism? So as I have discussed earlier, a prism, it is a transparent medium. Okay, a prism is a transparent medium bound by two plane surfaces inclined at an angle. So normally it is made up of glass and has triangular cross section. Okay, you should be able to define what is prism. So this type of question can be asked in the exam. Now, after that, we have the another topic, that is the partial and the total internal reflection. Okay. Now we have already studied about the reflection. Okay. So what is the reflection? When light is incident on a particular surface, it bounces back, but it returns back. Okay. So that is the reflection. So here you are going to study about the partial reflection and the total internal reflection. Now here you can see that the two mediums are given. One is the rarer medium and another one is the denser medium. Okay. So now when the light travels from the denser medium to the rarer medium. Okay. Or you can say when light enters a rarer medium from a denser medium, it gets partially reflected. Okay. It gets partially reflected. That is, part of the light gets reflected and comes back into the denser medium as per the laws of reflection. So this is called as the partial reflection. Okay. So here you can see in this figure partially reflected ray. Okay. So here when the light passes from the denser medium to rarer medium, okay, you can see that the light, it gets partially reflected, that it returns back into the denser medium. Okay, so this is the partially reflected ray. Then observe this diagram very carefully. Now see here also the same thing is shown. We have the water and the air medium. So water medium is the denser medium and air medium will be the rarer medium. Okay, so here you will see that the light source is shown here. Okay, so when the light is passing from this water medium, that is a denser medium, to the air medium. Okay, so it gets partially reflected. See here, this light is getting the partially reflected. Okay, so this is called as the partial reflection. So you may get a question, what is the partial reflection? So you should be able to answer. When light enters a rarer medium from a denser medium, it gets partially reflected. That is, part of the light gets reflected and comes back into the denser medium. Okay, and it happens as per the laws of reflection. So this is called as partial reflection. Okay, now in this process, the rest of the light gets refracted. So you will see that the rest of the light, it gets refracted and it goes into the rarer medium. Okay, so here this is the reflection of light, partial reflection of light, and rest of the light is getting reflected, refracted. Okay, and it goes into the rarer medium. Got it? Now, as light is going from denser to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Okay, so we have already studied this thing, and you have to remember this three things that is very important. When light passes from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Okay, then when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Okay, these things we have studied. Now here, as the light is traveling from a denser medium to rarer medium. So it will bend away from the normal. Okay, now as light, it will bend from away from the normal. It means that in this case, the angle of incidence I will be smaller than the angle of refraction because it is bending away from the normal. Okay, so remember this thing, when it bends away from the normal, angle of incidence will be smaller than the angle of refraction. Okay, so here you can see that here this refraction process is occurring. Okay, and you can see that this is the refracted ray. Okay, it is bending away from the normal. So here this dotted line, it is the normal. Okay, and this refracted ray, it bends away from the normal. So therefore, angle of incidence will be smaller as compared to the angle of refraction. Okay, then so if you observe the diagram, if we increase I, if we increase the angle of incidence, so what will happen to the angle of refraction? It will also increase, okay, according to the Snell's law. And we know that according to the Snell's law, sine of I upon sine of R, it's constant, and that is the refractive index. Okay, so if we increase I, the R value will also increase. Now, for a particular value of I, okay, for a particular value of I, the value of R becomes equal to 90 degree. Means angle of refraction, it becomes 90 degree for a particular value of angle of incidence. Okay, so this value of I is called as the critical angle. So here you can observe this, R is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so for this angle of incidence, where it is written IC, okay, for a particular value of I, the value of R has become equal to 90 degree. Okay, so this value of I is called as the critical angle. Okay, so this thing is also very important. What is the critical angle? For a particular value of I, the value of R becomes equal to 90 degree. This value of R is called the critical angle. Okay, then for angle of incidence larger than the critical angle. Now, if the angle of incidence is larger than the critical angle, then obviously what will happen? The angle of refraction will also be larger than the 90 degree, isn't it? So what will happen in this case? Now in this case, the rays will return to the denser medium. Okay, the rays will return to the denser medium. Thus, all the light gets reflected back into the dense medium. So this is called as the total internal reflection. Got it? So here you can see the value of angle I, it is greater than the critical angle. Okay. Now in this case, the value of R will also be greater. Okay. And in such situation, what will happen? All the light gets reflected back into the denser medium. Okay. So this process is called as the total internal reflection. Got it? So here we have studied the points, that is the partial reflection and total internal reflection, and what is the critical angle. Okay. So once again we will revise this here. By looking at the diagram only, we can explain the whole process that is occurring here. Okay, when light enters a rarer medium from a denser medium, here you have the light source. Which are the two mediums that we have taken? Air medium and the water medium. So among the two, which is the rarer medium? Air is the rarer medium, and which is the denser medium? So water is the denser medium. So where we have the light source? We have the light source from the denser medium, that is from the water. Okay. So when the light enters a rarer medium from a denser medium, so it will get partially reflected. Okay. It will get partially reflected. So here it is getting partially reflected. See here. Okay. That means the light rays return and come back into the denser medium. So that is called as the partial reflection. And what happens to the rest of the light? The rest of the light gets refracted and it goes into the rarer medium. Got it? Then if we see that when the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Okay, it bends away from the normal. So in this case, the value of I will be smaller than the value of R. Okay, remember this. When it bends away from the normal, the value of I will be smaller than the value of R. Okay, then if we increase the value of I, then R will also increase. Okay, according to the Snell's law. Then for the particular value of I, for the particular value of I, the angle of refraction becomes equal to 90 degree. Okay, so this value of I is called as the critical angle. Okay, remember this. For a particular value of I, the value of R becomes equal to 90 degree. So this value of I is called as the critical angle. Okay, then for angle of incidence larger than the critical angle, here I greater than IC. IC means critical angle. Okay, if the angle of incidence is larger than the critical angle, the angle of refraction is larger than 90 degree. Okay, now in such case, the rays return back to the denser medium as it is shown here in the figure. Okay, thus all the light gets reflected back into the dense medium. So this is called as the total internal reflection. Okay, now we can determine the value of the critical angle. Okay, we can determine the value of the critical angle as we know that refractive index is equal to sine I upon sine R. So for total internal reflection, if we have I is equal to IC, that IC is the critical angle, and R is equal to 90 degree, because at critical angle we have the value of R as 90 degree. Okay, and if you substitute the value of R, we get sine I upon sine 90. And students, we know that sine 90 is equal to 1. Okay, so we get 1 and 2 is equals to sine I. So if we know the value of the refractive index, you can easily calculate the value of the critical angle. So such type of question can be asked, what is the total internal reflection? So when light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium and is incident at an angle more than the critical angle for that medium, it is completely returned inwardly in the denser medium. So this complete inward return of light, that means that light is totally reflected back into the denser medium. This is called as the total internal reflection. Then what is the partial reflection? When light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it is partially reflected. That is, part of light comes back into the denser medium as per the laws of reflection. So this is called as the partial reflection of light. Then what is meant by critical angle? So when light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. It's called the critical angle. Okay. Now after that we have the concept of rainbow formation. So you all might have observed the rainbow, isn't it? So you observe the rainbow during the rainy season, isn't it? And we are all are very excited to observe the rainbow. There you also you see the seven colors, isn't it? So now we will study how actually we get the rainbow. Okay. So see this diagram. Now rainbow it is a natural phenomenon. Okay. Rainbow it is a beautiful natural phenomenon. It is a combined effect of reflection, refraction, and dispersion of light. So up till now, what we have studied the reflection, we have studied the refraction and dispersion of light. Okay. So all these things appear during the rainbow formation. Okay. Therefore, we say that it is a combined effect of a number of natural processes. Now, which are these number of natural processes? So it is the effect of dispersion, refraction, and the total internal reflection of light. So rainbow, it is mainly observed after a rainfall. So what happens? A small droplets of water. So here you can see it is a small droplet of water. Okay, small droplet of water. It acts as a prism. Then when white rays from the sun enter these droplets, okay, when the light rays from the sun will enter these droplets, it gets refracted while entering. Okay, so here also the process of refraction occurs. Okay, so here you have again the two medium. Okay, so when the light rays enter from one medium to another medium, it will get refracted. Okay, so as the water droplet, it acts as a prism. Okay, so that light ray will get refracted while entering the droplet. Okay, and even it gets dispersed. Then there is the internal reflection, and after that, once again, the light gets refracted while coming out of the droplet. Got it? One refraction will occur when the light rays will enter the droplet. Then after that, the second refraction when the light rays will come out from the droplet. And in between that, when the light rays enter the droplet, the first refraction occurs, and after that, the light gets dispersed. The total internal reflection occurs, and after that, while coming out through the droplet, the second refraction occurs. Okay, so all these three processes together produce the rainbow. Understood? So you should remember this thing. It is a very simple concept. You have to remember that the small droplet, it acts as the prism, and the process of refraction, total internal reflection, and the dispersion, it occurs. All this process, it occurs together, and they produce the rainbow. So question can be asked on this also. Okay, so you here you can see this image, how the rainbow appears to us. Then in this water droplet, you can see all the three process, that is of the refraction, dispersion, second refraction, and inside the droplet we have the total internal reflection. Now you can also obtain the spectrum even at home. You will require all these things. You require a plastic tub, you require a mirror, you require a water and a torch. And you try this activity at home, and you will see that the spectrum will be obtained as it is shown here. You can try this activity at home. Now let us see what type of question can be asked based on the rainbow formation. So here again, you have to observe the given figure and answer the following questions. Uh, Identify and write the natural process shown in the figure. Okay, that is the rainbow formation. List the phenomena which are observed in this process. So which phenomena are observed? We observe the refraction, total internal reflection, and the dispersion. Then again, you have to redraw the diagram and show above phenomena in it. Okay, so a very simple type of question is asked. Then another question that can be asked regarding the rainbow, that is prove the statement. Now they have given one statement and you have to prove that. A rainbow is the combined effect of the refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection of light. Okay, so what you will write, the same thing that we have studied just now. After rainfall, the tiny droplets of water present in the atmosphere act as a prism. Okay, this thing I have already told you that droplets act as the prism for the rays coming from the sun. Thus, the sunlight, after striking the surface of the droplets, gets refracted and dispersed into its seven components. Okay, as it was shown in the figure. After this, the light rays are subjected to total internal reflection. Then the rays are again refracted when they come out of the water droplet. Hence, the rainbow formation is the combined effect of refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection of light. Okay, so in this way, you can answer this type of question. So here, you can once again observe this diagram. Okay, so here you have the source of light, that is the sun. So that beam of light, it is coming from the sun. Then you have the water droplet and observer on ground. So we are the observers. Okay, so beam of light enters, it strikes that water droplet. There, the process of refraction will occur. Along with refraction, the process of dispersion of light also occurs. Got it? Then inside the droplet, you have the total internal reflection. Okay. Then after that, we have the second refraction when that light comes out from the water droplet. Okay. And therefore, we say that rainbow, it is the combined effect of refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection. So this is your assignment. What is meant by dispersion of light? So what is dispersion of light? That we have already discussed. The separation of light into its component colors. This process is called as the dispersion of light. Then explain partial reflection, critical angle, and the total internal reflection with the help of the neat labeled diagram. So students, this diagram is very important. All these diagrams, even this rainbow formation diagram, then you have this partial and total internal reflection diagram. Okay, so here very easily you can write what is the total internal reflection. Okay, very simple it is. When the light rays travel from denser medium to a rarer medium and it is incident at an angle more than the critical angle. Okay, remember that angle will be more than the critical angle for that medium. At such time, all the light rays will get reflected back into the dense medium. So this is called as the total internal reflection. Then what is the partial reflection? When light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it is partially reflected. Okay, that is part of the light comes back into the denser medium as per the laws of reflection. This is called as the partial reflection of light. And about the critical angle also we have discussed. When light travels from a denser medium to rarer medium, the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. Okay. For the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree is called as the critical angle. Okay. So even this diagram based questions are asked that we have discussed. Then these statements can be given. Then even your this diagram is important regarding the rainbow formation. Okay. Then the third one also we have discussed, that is prove that a rainbow is the combined effect of the refraction, dispersion, and the total internal reflection. Okay. And see, students, one more thing that we have studied, that we obtained the spectrum of light. Okay. So we have seen that we have seen in the spectrum that a red color bends the least while the violet color bends the most. Okay, this means that the violet light is deviated most and the red light is deviated the least on passing through the prism. So this question can also be asked in the form of give reason. So very simple, you can answer that different colors they travel with the different velocity or different speed in the prism, and the refractive index is different for different colors, isn't it? So it is maximum for the violet light and minimum for the red light. So therefore, the angle of deviation of a ray of light on passing through a prism, it depends on the refractive index of the material of the prism. So hence, violet light is deviated the most and the red light is deviated the least on passing through the prism. Okay. So almost all the questions we have discussed, even in our previous lecture, what type of questions can be asked in the exam. And regarding these three topics also, we have discussed the questions that can be asked. Okay. So students, you can just take the screenshot of this assignment. So students, here we have completed the lesson. Students, thank you. Again, you revise the lesson. Ma'am? Madam, I have completed the lesson. Okay, students, we will end the meeting now.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I have completed.
Lecture.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank